Scott, thanks for joining us. We've got Bromley tomorrow night away. Tough game. What are your thoughts heading into that one?
Looking forward to it. It feels like an age since we played. I know it's only been, whatever it's been, 10 days, is it? So, yeah, we want to get back out there and play a game of football. Obviously, tough opposition in the shape of Bromley. Had a great season so far. Andy Woodman's done a fantastic job there. And kind of watching them, I can see why they are where they are in the division, because they ask a lot of questions of you. They really stick it on you. So we're going to have to be at our best to, first of all, cope with that. But secondly, we want to try and impose ourselves on the game as well. So we're mindful of that.
Yeah, we spoke to Josh Flint after the Salford game, and he was desperate to get back out there and play. But do you think this sort of 10-day window that we've had is ultimately going to be a good thing as we build up to Christmas?
We have to look at it as a positive, because that's what it is. We don't want to look at it as a negative. Straight after the Salford game, would we have preferred to play straight away? Then maybe yes, but on reflection, a little bit of time away from the club, from one another, was a good thing. And then we've prepared the team as normal to play on Tuesday night. So we feel refreshed. We feel ready to go again.
Yeah, and I bet the lads are desperate to sort of obviously get back out there and put what felt like a wrong on that last Saturday right, I guess.
Well, it wasn't really the last Saturday. It was really the last 5 minutes that we got put right. I thought that we were excellent in the game, and watching it back, it was so frustrating to watch back, because what the outcome is when you're watching it, and you think, how did it come to that? But we've got to learn from that. We've got to improve from that. And when we get ourselves in that position again, that can't happen again.
Yeah, and what was the sort of reaction like coming back to training? Because obviously we had a bit of, as you say, that sort of mini break. So do you think that gave the players a chance to have a clearer head more than what it would normally be when you just come in on the Monday after a Saturday?
I'll let you know after the game on Tuesday, but I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that it's, kind of refreshed people. I think the players seem to be keen to get back out there. It's been a long time since we've played, so I'm keen to watch them. We've prepped for the game, and I've picked a team that I think can be effective in this game. So I'm actually looking forward to it, and I'm sure the players are as well, because I think the overriding feeling after the Salford game was disappointment, having played so well, dominated the game, and we kind of switch off for the last 5 minutes, which cost us. And then you look at how Salford do in the FA Cup against Leyton Orient. They beat them 4-0, so, they're a good side. I think we have to remind ourselves of what we were up against. But in my opinion, we deserve something out of the game, so it just goes to show what we are. We're a good side. We just need to make sure that when we get in the driving seat, that we remain in the driving seat. And what I'm pleased about is, certainly in the last 2 or 3 games, is that we've come from behind. So we've showed real character, which we need to have. We're not always going to get it our way, and we're probably not going to get it our way on Tuesday night, but we've got to show that character to come back and to nail a good performance. And like I say, I thought we semi-nailed a good performance at Salford. We didn't see it through.
Yeah, what's the injury list looking like at the moment? Because it was growing before the Salford game, and then obviously that was a really tough game. Obviously the pitch wasn't in great condition. It was a really tough battle out there. Obviously Jay Williams took a huge whack to the head and somehow was able to play on. Is he likely to be fit for Tuesday night?
Yeah, Jay, try holding him back.
Yeah.
You try holding him back to not play. He'll definitely be fit for the game, no problem at all. Dion Conroy has trained all week, as Gavin Houlihan, so they both come into contention for the squad.
Yeah, and finally, we should, by the time we kick off tomorrow, have sold out the away end, which is obviously unbelievable backing. There'll be about 580 Crawley fans there. It's obviously great to see those numbers, and they can, as we've always said, they can make a real difference, can't they?
Massive difference. They are us. The players do the work on the pitch, but they create the atmosphere in the stands, and we can help with that, obviously, by playing well. But the fans have been brilliant. I think that they've helped us so much this season, and in past seasons. But the one we're in at the moment, we've found ourselves in some real tough battles and some tough games, and they've supported us through that, and we want to see that again on Tuesday night. It's just down the road, kind of a local game in many ways. You know, and I'm really looking forward to coming out and seeing the fans, and hopefully we can give them something to go down the road with.
You mentioned Dion's back in contention. Is that a bit? No, I know you don't like selection headaches, but it's a good headache to have with Badge playing the way he is in the centre of that back three. Is that an easy decision to make?
Yeah, listen, I think it's always pleasing to get Dion Conroy back in the squad. He's such a good player, isn't he? You know, and he's our captain, and he's been brilliant for this football club. And you know, we've missed him. But having said that, like you say, Badger's done so well in that middle of the back three. So, in a way, yes, it is an headache. I've made my decision on it, and you know, and I think everybody respects everybody. So. Let's just wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael Cheek, obviously, I've had people say to me he's one of the best strikers in League Two. You would probably agree with that. What, apart from the goals he scores, what makes him such a threat?
Well, he's played for both my assistant managers. Jamie Day had him, and obviously Neil Smith, and so we kind of know him. But yeah, he's a real danger. You know, he scores all sorts of goals. He's not just a big lump. He really isn't. He's got good technique, left and right foot. He can edit, obviously. But yeah, he's an handful. But they've got more than just Michael Cheek, right? They've got some good players, and they've got some real attacking threats, set pieces. You know, they've scored a lot of goals from set pieces. So we're going to have to be at our mettle and really on it. Every time, you know, there's a corner, we've got to be right on it. And we've worked on that for 2 days now. So we're gonna have to be at our best.
Yeah, and I think starting with tomorrow's game, you've got 8 games in a month pretty much because of the Christmas period. I know you're quite meticulous and you take one game at a time, but when it's like this, do you have to overlap your preparation for games at times?
Kind of slightly. I do take one game at a time, but I do look ahead in terms of personnel to play in what games. I think you have to slightly because I just don't think there's players in the team currently that potentially couldn't maybe do, you know, 4 games in, I don't know how many, 8 days or whatever, do you know what I mean? So we got to kind of look at that and think about what does that game look like, what does this game look like? So we've kind of started to look at that now. But I am pretty much one game at a time, but I think with an eye on that as well, especially with the amount of fixtures we've got coming thick and fast. You know, we've got obviously over the Christmas period, especially. I've never understood that game in between Boxing Day, New Year's Day. I just think it's one too many, you know. And I think we have to take into consideration injuries and everything else, and load on players. And I think that game's probably one too many for me. But it is what it is, and we have to get on with it. And I've got a good squad. You know, and it's pleasing to see the likes of Gav coming back, and obviously Dion Conroy coming back, and gives me more to choose from, as it were.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about the festive period. Are you someone who enjoys it, apart from that one game, or would you like to see a winter break like other countries, some countries?
No, I wouldn't want to see a winter break. Definitely not. No, I don't think so. I think English football's built on Boxing Day games and New Year's Day games. I think they're built on that. You know, I think it's always been tradition for me to be, you know, working towards a busy period over Christmas. We get our time off in the summer, so no.
Yeah, and I know you had a normal week leading up to the Bromley game, but you had Saturday as a bit of a break. Does Scott Lindsey go and watch a game on Saturday, or what did you do this?
I watched some games, yeah, but I did watch it from the comfort of my own home, because there was certain targets that we're looking at for January that were actually playing live on telly. So it was actually more efficient for me to stay at home and watch, which I did. So I did work, but actually in the comfort of my armchair.
Yeah, and did those targets impress you?
One was very good, so I'm not going to give much more away than that. But yeah, I was pleased with what I saw.
Brilliant. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Thank you.